Hey guys, Vulcan Trader here, and do a market update, let you guys know what I'm doing at the moment. I'm going to try and start making more videos here regularly. But so at the moment, how I've got my account set up, this is my swing trading account. So I have long-term crypto investments that are quite a bit of my net worth, but and I don't touch those. I've held through the drawdown. I'm hodling no matter what, but then I have another a Roth that I swing trade in. That way I don't have to pay capital gains in. And this is what I'm doing in there. And it's a stock account. So bought AMC this morning. I bought some in the pre-market around like the 50, 51 area. Just because it's still on a run. I still see a lot of hype on YouTube and whatnot on it. I already made some money on it from here to here, but feel like it's still maybe safe to get back in, but I wouldn't position size it too big just because we could have a big crash. Like if you look at, for example, what happened before, ran up and then you had a big gap this big run up here and then sharp drop right here, or I guess from here to here, 13, then it gapped down to like 9 and then fell all the way to 7. You pretty much had a 50% drop the next day, so you got to be careful of that. So I wouldn't put more than, maybe 10% of your account in it or something like that. But I think it's still safe to buy here even at 53 because I could see it potentially going to 100 this week. So I basically bought some AMC shares, and then I do like whatever position I'm doing. I do like, this is what I've been doing to get a little bit more leverage, but still have a low downside. I'll put like maybe a fourth of it into call options. So I bought some 57 strike AMC call options. I bought them for like $6-7, but which means it's got to get to like 63, 64 for me to break even. But like I said, I could see it going to 100 this week and having like a big gap up open day if kind of the hype continues on it. Maybe it won't, but like I said, I'm positioned 10% of my account, and then maybe 1/4 of that or 2.5% I'd put in options or something if it is me. But you can do even smaller than that if you got to think, because the option position, I'm doing expiring this week, you could lose the whole thing potentially, so you gotta be wary of that. And then maybe my stop's around $40 as far as the share. So like if I was doing a long position here, so even if you're entering now, I don't think it's too late. So your stop's here, target's up here, so risk reward is 3.27, right? Then as far as the rest, I've got a couple others. I don't know if you should buy them here. I got like some UWMC that I bought weeks ago. Some ACAT actually. No, you could buy this one still. So why I bought this one is let's see, where's the indicators here? I'm doing relative strength. So this is one of my probably favorites as far as a longer term play. So if you can get, anytime you get an RSI down to here below 30, a weekly RSI, see on my weekly chart, that's very rare you get that much selling. If you buy that, typically you'll rebound up back to the highs and even higher and get a big run for maybe even a year sometimes. I don't know if I'll hold on this long because I might switch back to crypto, but it was because crypto was kind of dead for a while this last month. This is what I was swinging, and the reason, so I was in AMC last week, so I didn't have it. I wanted to buy here, but then the AMC was looking better, so I had more money in AMC. I still am buying here, but see, I'd say anytime there's an upside gap, you gotta, I don't know, maybe especially when there's money printing, oh gosh, you get 80-90% chance that gap's going to fill in a money printing environment, in my opinion. So we had a huge gap here, and then another gap here with the daily RSI below 30, weekly RSI below 30. So it's pretty solid. And even though it's filled this other gap, I didn't catch that. I actually think about it 26, 27 myself. So it's not too far away here. This is the target here, so we put it up here, maybe our stops down here. Here's where you enter, where it's at now. Put your stop down there. Risk rewards 2.3 or 2, just if you just fill the gap. But if you look at other ones like these in the past, like look at Tesla before its giant run. We can look at that, why not? Even though I kind of hate Tesla and Elon Musk at this point for all his crap he's saying about Bitcoin, but I won't own or buy any Tesla stock just for that reason, out of principle at this point. But if we do weekly, let's see, what's that? See Tesla right here at if I go right here, weekly RSI got down to 30, barely touched it. This is when it was crashed. See, it was going sideways for this whole time for, well, I don't know, 2 years or so. Then it crashed, undercut the low, weekly RSI 30, and then what happened after that? Went back to the all-time highs and went on a huge run. There's another one where Starbucks did that. Let's see, I'll pull that up too. I remember from a while back. Starbucks was much larger cap stock, doesn't have as much hype, but still, it was right here. Yeah, so Starbucks was going sideways for quite a few years, undercuts the low right here, weekly RSI 30, you buy it, and then I think this is what, about 50 to 100, so you get 100% gain in about, and during this time the regular market was weak. This is one of the strongest ones that were just continually going up, and that's because all the sellers were gone. There's only buyers left because all the sellers have been wiped out whenever you get that much selling. A lot of times then, oh, same thing here, right here, weekly RSI 30, I didn't even notice that one. And there you go, boom, boom. So you usually get a pretty strong, solid run for quite a while. That was July to September the next year, so yeah, about a year run. So ACAD, that's the play there, what I'm doing, but I might end up selling it maybe even sooner, even before this, we'll see. But and I'll explain why later, why I would do that. But everything's opportunity cost. And then I've got some Tilray and Workhorse. I don't know. If these break the 10-day moving average, close below them, I'm closing them out. Or maybe I got stopped out of Tilray already. I don't remember. But anyway, Workhorse, I still have some calls left that I had bought. I closed out the shares, but I still have some of the calls. Like 20 strike calls I bought. But I'll have to do an options class, but basically with the options, whatever you can do, strike price plus whatever you pay for it, add those together. So like on the AMC ones, I was buying a 57 strike and I bought them for $7. So 64 is my break even. It has to break above 64 this week. So the Workhorse ones, I want to say I got like a month on them or something like that, and they're 20 strike, and they're 17 and I paid like $3 for them, so 20 is my break even. So I'm expecting it to go above 20 in the next couple weeks or something. But if it breaks below the 10-day moving average, then I'll probably be selling it too. But I got it because it's all the Wall Street bet stocks. If you do high short interest stocks right here, it was the highest one, plus Wall Street Bets was talking about it a little bit similar to Clove, but Clove already kind of ran. Workhorse did some, but not as much as Clove did. So I was thinking, well, it's the number one short interest. You have guaranteed buyers, short sellers that have to buy it at some point, and then they were short squeezing all the shorted stocks last week. Most of these pretty hard. So I was thinking, and then Workhorse is still high. So I'm thinking that, yeah, maybe that'll happen. It'll get another squeeze on a Workhorse. It'll break above 20, somewhere up to maybe, well, there's a gap here, so maybe we'll hit up to 30 or something in the next month. That's the idea there on that one. But on an options only position, whatever you put into an option, especially a short, unless you're buying a long-term one, like a 2-month, a 6-month, or a year, anything that's, even under a month or a couple weeks, only put in what you're willing to lose the entire lot. It's a small bet with high upside potential, but just because you can't really, you can stop out on, but you're going to lose a lot in the process. It's best to just position size something you're willing to lose the whole thing. And just a really small bet on options whenever I'm talking about any short dated option. So is there I want to say I got stopped out of Tilray. Yeah. And if I haven't been, I'm going to be, because the 10-day moving average is this light blue line, if I didn't explain that. So I have all my charts, I just have Bollinger Bands. I got light blue line as the 10-day. This purple one's the 20-day. This green one's the 50. This yellow one's the 100, and this one's the 200. It's just general lines that if it's going up, if it's, seems to be respecting certain ones, then I'm going to use that one as maybe a trailing stop or something like that to show the trend still in my direction. Or the reverse if it's going down as maybe an entry. So, and then UWMC, I had this one. This is a low high type flag, and I'll do another video on that. But this is probably one of my favorite patterns as far as there's some in Roku. Tesla did one I could show you, but I won't get into that. I'm getting a little long here. But that's why I bought that. I saw it here. Actually, I didn't see it till about here, but I saw this pattern. I was like, okay, usually you get a pretty good run, maybe even to new highs. So I bought some, when it was here, I bought some 12.5 calls, and but they're like, oh, I got one that was 2 months out and 6 months out. I split the expirations on it, and that's what I did on those. I don't know if I'd recommend that. You could still maybe buy the share. We could still fill this gap here, but you could buy the shares if you did like, I don't know, if you want to expect it to go even higher up to here, and then your stops down here, well, maybe 8.57 if you want to buy it, but this one might be a little late on it to get it. So that's as far as my normal stocks. And then what I'm doing now, actually, I had rotated out of crypto. I actually held through this drawdown here, unfortunately, and took a big hit to my account, but I was already up huge this last year. It's because I took the whole run all the prior year before that, but I took a hit here. But and then I rotated into the Wall Street bet stocks recently, this last month as they were doing good, but or last couple weeks. And then but I was waiting till, so anytime you're in a downtrend or a bear market, I was like, okay, well, it could continue back down to, let's say, so this is a breakout, or right here. Anytime you have a flat base and then it breaks out, there's a chance for a retest the breakout that's pretty high. Other than we got so much printing, I'd say it seems less likely at this point. That'd be a huge drop, like 80% during the bull market after the halving, so probably won't happen, but I'm still hedging, or not fully invested in crypto for that. But what I'm doing, and I don't recommend anyone be this aggressive, but just so you know, from my mindset, what I think is smartest, I did the Wall Street bets, recouped a little bit of my losses, holding down that right there, but I rode this entire thing. And then, so right here, so this is our 10-day, we're riding below that, so we're still we haven't had a reversal yet, basically, because we're still under that moving average. And a good place to enter really anytime is a 50% drawdown on anything. You got you got maybe you got a 50% chance, or high, and maybe even higher than that it's going to recover at 50%. But on a parabolic run, you have a chance for an 80% drawdown. That's what we had here. I'd say it could go even further. So anyway, somewhere 50% drop, you could enter half, but it's still best to wait for it to reverse. So we hit this 10-day, we reversed. I mean, we didn't get a good solid close above it, and then here we broke it with the 10, touched the 20, reversed again, but then now we had finally a bit solid close Sunday, way above the 10 and the 20. So it shows we're back in an uptrend. Like, same thing if I'm watching like a Bitcoin, I'm using it. We don't have like an index per se of crypto. Well, you got GDLC, we could look at that one, but I'm just using Bitcoin because it's the leader, as the trend is the general market. So like in stocks, if I'm looking at index, if I'm trying to figure out, okay, is the market in a correction still, should I start entering and buying the dip right here? Like, so S&P 500, it's riding below the 10-day moving average, this blue line here the whole time, light blue line, pops up above it. You could either, depends on whether you want to use the 10 or the 20, but you could do like, if it has a good close above the 10, you put in 1/3 of your money that's in cash. It closes above the 20, you put in another third right there, and then it goes above the 50 and closes. This one's, you could do here, but that's a weak close. A solid close would be somewhere here, above the 50, or it stays above it for a bit, and then you're fully invested 100%. And then or just to tell you that the general market is not, I'm buying the S&P 500, but I'm using that as index to say where the general market is going. And then, and then you're gonna look at what individual stocks would look good in that case, go up. So this is same thing we're doing here with crypto. Is, I think, well, Bitcoin's above. This is my current. I just keep this here to watch it, even though you can't buy Bitcoin in my stock account. So I'm 50% invested in crypto at this point, because we have these solid closes above the 10 and the 20 in my stock portfolio. But then how I'm playing it is I'm doing splitting between. So I've got BitW. I bought it actually Friday. I'll have to do another video on these, but you got to check their website, make sure you're not buying them too high above NAV. Like the NAV is probably somewhere around 41, so there's a little bit of a premium on this one at the moment. But I would guess compared to, but it's not too bad. It's dropped off a bit, so I have 10% that one, 10% BitQ, which is it's a basket of all the crypto stocks in the market, which is like all these. It's like MicroStrategy, Coinbase, Riot, where's Mara? There's just others, you can look it up, but BitQ is all the crypto stocks or crypto miner stocks, stuff like that. So, and then I've got, and then ETHE, GDLC, so here's GDLC is an index, so look at that. So we got a descending wedge pattern right here, just broke out of that. So GDLC is a good buy. And then I bought some MicroStrategy calls at their 6-month calls because I expect Bitcoin to have a bull run, maybe over what we expect. Say the Plan B stock to flow model is still valid, then we're going to be hitting over 200,000 as far as Bitcoin. MicroStrategy has the greatest amount of Bitcoin on their balance sheet for any company. If you go to what is it, bitcointreasuries.org. See all the other miner stocks, they don't have as much Bitcoin on their balance sheet. They still follow it sympathy wise, but I was like, well, miners don't make as much as holding Bitcoin during the price appreciation actually. So there's a chance they cannot follow. Whereas MicroStrategy has actual Bitcoin on their balance sheet and it's percent. That's not the right one. I guess this site went away. It changed or something. It used to show you the percent. The website's totally different now. But basically, if you do the math of how much Bitcoin they have on their balance sheet compared to their market cap, MicroStrategy is almost completely Bitcoin for its market cap. Its market cap here is $5 billion. They have about that much Bitcoin on their balance sheet, so it should get it pretty much dollar for dollar the move, the value in it, compared to Riot, which is like it's a Bitcoin, probably one of the best Bitcoin mining stocks, but yeah, it only has I want to say 10% or less of Bitcoin on its balance sheet. So that's why I did my MicroStrategy for this one. But anyway, I bought the 560 calls. I bought them for $100. They're gonna be kind of expensive unless you have a larger account, but you could do Riot or Mara instead. If you don't do options if you don't know how to do them, but I'll do some video tutorials on those in the future. But anyway, so if I bought for 560 and I bought them for 100, so 560 to strike plus my price of 100 is 660. That's my break even right there. I bought them right here, but if anything above this is profit, and then I expected if Bitcoin goes to 200K, I mean, gosh, MicroStrategy would be somewhere up here, I would guess, by the end of the year, which, I mean, seems crazy, but either way, even if it just makes it back to the all-time high, it's going to be a good, solid profit. But yeah, so I'm back in crypto. 50% of my money is in my stock account, and split equally between BitW, BitQ, OBTC, ETHE, which is Ethereum. OBTC is just a new, it's like GBTC, but it's a newer one with a lower fee, and then there's a lockup on the shares for a year, over a year or something. So it's a low float. We could get a premium expansion. It shoots up even more than Bitcoin. And then ETHE, GDLC, MSTR. So basically, I guess 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that 50% of my account is split equally between these 6 here. And so that's what I'm playing right now, what I'm doing, what I'm buying. If you want to follow along, I'll try and upload this quick so other people can follow.